A mob boss, the first bank, and the USS Ranger are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is February 25th, 2021. It is the 56th day of the year. We got 309 days left. It is also the 8th Thursday. It is the 67th day of winter, and there are 23 days left until spring. It's also 77 days until B. Arthur's birthday. Yeah, everyone's favorite golden girl, B. Arthur. If today's your birthday, you are a Pisces. There are no holidays today, but I guess it's the 9th day of Lent, so that'll have to do. I will tell you up front, this was a boring day. I struggled to find anything interesting to tell you about today, but we'll make do. All right, let's see what else happened on February 25th. 1791, the first Bank of the United States is chartered. President Washington signs the bill into law on February 25th, 1791. The Bank of the United States, it's now commonly referred to as the first Bank of the United States, opened for business in Philadelphia on December 12, 1791, with a 20-year charter, but it was finally signed into law on February 25th. 1836, Samuel Colt is granted a U.S. patent for his revolver. It's a company that's still going to this day. 1918, German forces captured Tallinn to virtually complete the occupation of Estonia. Estonia kind of folded against the German military back in World War I, and it kind of sucked for them. 1933, the launch of the USS Ranger at Newport News, Virginia. It is the first purpose-built aircraft carrier to be commissioned by the U.S. Navy. 1941, the outlawed Communist Party of the Netherlands organizes a general strike in German-occupied Amsterdam to protest against Nazi persecution of Dutch Jews. 1956, in his speech on the cult of personality and its consequences, Nikita Khrushchev, the leader of the Soviet Union, denounces Stalin. Yeah, Joseph Stalin, denounced by the leader of the Soviet Union. Mind-blowing. 1980, the government of Suriname is overthrown by a military coup. Movies released on February 25th, 2002, We Were Soldiers. This was a decent Mel Gibson movie, and it's loosely based on a true story. The film tells the story of the first major battle involving American troops in the Vietnam War. Prior to this battle, it was usually just squad and platoon size engagements. This was the first time that it was like companies of men, which are, 300-400 men. Before that, it was just like little skirmishes, 10 to 15 men tops. It's based on the 1992 book, We Were Soldiers Once and Young, written by war veteran Colonel Harold G. Moore, and war journalist Joseph L. Galloway. It was actually a decent movie. Born on February 25th, 1953, John Doe, singer, songwriter, and actor. John Doe is a co-founder of the Los Angeles-based punk band X, and has also worked as an actor. As far as acting goes, he's known for his role as Jeff Parker on the sci-fi series Roswell. Very, very interesting music X came up with. It was punk, but had like this country twang to it. It was really strange. I loved it. It was great. He was originally married to Exene, which was the lead singer of X, from 1980 to 1985, and then later married someone else and has 3 daughters. Exene was actually married for about 10 years to Viggo Mortensen, who, if you don't know who he is, he played Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. Died on February 25th, 1957, Bugs Moran. George Clarence Bugs Moran was an American Chicago Prohibition-era gangster and main rival to Al Capone. Bugs was born in St. Paul, Minnesota in 1893 and attended a private Catholic school in St. Paul around the time he joined a local juvenile gang and left school at age 18. He was later caught robbing a store and was sent to the State Juvenile Correctional Facility, and he was incarcerated 3 other times before his 21st birthday. He then fled to Chicago, where he was caught trying to rob a warehouse, taking part in a horse stealing ring, and taking part in a robbery that included the death of a police officer. He also robbed a freight car, which he received a variety of prison and jail sentences for. Bugs was a very, very busy man. When Prohibition rolled around in 1920, he got into a bootlegging gang. Now, there was a bunch of gangs at this time. Moran was in a mostly Irish group that became known as the North Side Gang. Al Capone at the time was the leader of the Italian mob on the South Side. These two rivals fought violently. 7 members of Moran's gang were gunned down in a warehouse in the St. Valentine's Day Massacre on February 14th, 1929, and supposedly the orders to kill these dudes were given by Al Capone. Bugs Moran survived Prohibition in the war with Al Capone and maintained control of his North Side Chicago gang for quite some time. But the gang never fully recovered its power or former place in Chicago's underworld as the chief rival Al Capone and his Italian mob continued to grow. Moran eventually left the area, quitting the gang entirely, though he didn't, change his ways. He was still doing, criminal type stuff, such as mail fraud and robbery. On April 30th, 1939, Moran was convicted of conspiracy to cash $62,000 worth of the American Express checks. He was freed on appeal when he posted bond. He fled but was captured and not released until December 21st, 1944. He was almost penniless in the 1940s, only 17 years after being one of the richest gangsters in Chicago. On July 6, 1946, he was arrested for his involvement in a robbery of a Dayton, Ohio tavern on June 28, 1945, and received a sentence of 20 years. He was paroled in 1956, but was immediately arrested for his role in a robbery from 1945. He was found guilty in 1957 and sentenced to 10 more years in prison. Moran died of lung cancer a few months into his 10-year sentence at Leavenworth Federal Prison in Kansas. It's a horrible place to die. Kansas? Ugh. He was only 63 years old. He was actually married once, but his wife left him when she found out he was a criminal. Yeah, you didn't know that going in? What's up with that chick? All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go forth, be successful today, and be nice to each other.